Got my Birdman rub going on. Few things I want you guys to understand. This is the off season. And temper your expectations. Some players are trying to still learn their way. So I don't want people to get too high on touchdowns and too low on interceptions. Or I don't want people to look at a position and say, hey, this guy, he can't do this, he can't do that. This is OTAs. We're not even in training camp yet. This is organized team activities. Not mandatory until next week. I believe next week will be mandatory, 3 days or what have you. And then they go on a mini vacation, and then we are back at it in Oxnard. I believe that's how that schedule works. So let's get right into it. Dak Prescott, he looked pretty good the other day. He threw a big long touchdown to CeeDee Lamb, and also Simi Fehoko, he actually caught 2 deep passes in the middle of the field, so that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. And they had some situations whereas Tony Pollard, he lined up at the wide receiver spot, and that's cool. We know that. That's always a good thing. And when we think about wide receiver play, we can say, man, that's something that we really don't have an issue with. I think that the wide receiver group will be okay, as well as the tight end group will be okay. Do we have elite tight ends? No. Do we have below average tight ends? No. We got right in the middle of the pack type of tight ends who could be knocking on the door saying that, hey, if healthy, man, they can get into that above average status. They can. But our wide receivers, they are above average. That's just me putting that out there. Now, they are above average. Let me turn my phone off. They are above average. And we don't have to really worry about that grouping. Now, granted, this is a contract year for my dog number 13, Michael Gallup. And you guys know Gallup will be ready. He flat out will be. He's sitting back saying, okay, y'all better not go into this year without signing me. I'm going to make you pay. And I know, Simi, you may look at him as being his replacement. And we don't hear too much of the other guys. Of course, opportunity sometimes could be missed, if they're sick and all of these other things. But like I said, let's temper our expectations until at least training camp, and then after training camp, because you can have a good camp. Remember Andy Jones or Reggie, I forgot his name. Y'all know who I'm talking about, right? You remember that guy, right? So let's push it back. Let's push it back and just wait for after preseason until these guys figure out all of those things. Reggie was a guy, the number 11. I forgot his name. But he was showing out during OTAs and as well as until the preseason came and the lights came on. He was like, oh, I'm going to disappear. I'm going to show you guys a Houdini trick. Nevertheless, let's temper our expectations. Let's hold back some of our thought processes on these type of things and understand that this offseason is long. Also, Cowboy Nation, Michael Parsons had an interception. He picked off Big Ben DiNucci. And I know a lot of people look into that and say, well, it's DiNucci just throwing the ball, right? But it's good to know that when you look at Parsons, he do have the ability to cover a little bit. So that's good. That's good. I think it was Parsons as well as Darian Thompson that was out there celebrating, doing their celebratory jump in the air, doing the shoulder bump, and that's pretty good. Other news, LVE. Oh, he caught him an interception as well, but he laid out there on the ground for a minute, and a lot of people thought that he was injured, but he had the ball. If you ever land on a ball before, let me know, put it in the comment box. It's not a pleasant feeling because it seems like God done took his breath out of you and you're about to die. But when you regain your energy, you regain your breath and everything, you say, man, good Lord, I just had the wind knocked out of me. Let me know if you ever had the wind knocked out of you, right? Let me know, and let me know how you felt about that one. And, of course, this is the 5,000-pound gorilla that's sitting in the room. Everybody, mama, uncle, cousin is asking me, and my phone is just continuing to ring. Everybody's asking me, Law, boss man fat. You heard what Michael Gelkin tweeted out. Hey, he wasn't at practice. And a few other guys was not at practice as well, like Donovan Wilson and some other guys. Here's the situation. When you're young, and this is your first impressions of the Dallas Cowboys and first media day wherein we have the ability to see and look into practice, it's not a good look. Now, only speculation for the nation. Only speculation. According to his storyline and his news feed, he was at a concert. Sometimes could be just this. Just like you guys got a job, you might have put in leave, you might have put in your time to be a certain place, and it's something that's important to you. Right now, that concert might have been something important to him. It may be a situation where that concert was already planned 3 to 4 months before this training camp, before this organized team activity. And he had to show up. And as a man of his word, he said, hey, boss, I put my time in. I need to be here. Now, as far as the impressions, first impression, last impressions, whatever it may be, could be the fact that, hey, nobody is not going to buy that because we looking at it like, hey, 24, you belong to us now. Bump all of the other extra curricular activities that you are doing. We want to see you on the field. We do. And that could be the situation in the scenario. And that's just how it goes from here, Cowboy Nation. But do not buy into that so much that you hate the kid. Maybe he already had something planned out with coach. Maybe he already had something planned out with the organization. We don't know. We from the outside looking in. So give boss man fat that longitude and latitude until we see him on the field. Of course, all of this stuff could in the long run. And by that being such, that gives more opportunities for somebody else to say, hey, that opportunity is for me now. While he's at the concert chilling, I want to be able to make this team. And that could be in the prime example of always being ready. Right? Y'all know it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have the opportunity and not be prepared. So somebody else stepped up. Now, unfortunately, for most, Anthony Brown is considered to be in the other outside corner outside of Trayvon Diggs. Now, I know when we look at Anthony Get Down Brown, I don't look at Anthony Brown as a bad, horrible, below average cornerback. I think that he's average at best. I think that Anthony Brown, he's very serviceable at that spot. He is. Now, I know we can look back at film and we'll say, man, he gonna get burnt over the bigger, taller receivers. And that's what happened. He ain't the biggest of the biggest guys out there. But as the boundary corner, as it relates to experience, he got the most of it. And confidence means everything. His rookie year campaign, he did a wonderful job. Now, when we made it to the playoff, they was like, let's give this position back to Mo Claiborne. And I was telling a lot of people that confidence goes a long way. And that shattered him. He didn't play back to that level ever since then. So it goes to show you that all of those things plays a role. Shout out to my dog Jay Versick. He reached out to me via Instagram and he asked me, he said, Law, do you feel like when Dak Prescott was in his rookie year, did he play better because he was having more fun, right? He didn't have to worry about the defense. Well, I think not just to isolate Dak Prescott, I think the team collectively played with a sense of urgency, played with a reasoning of saying, hey, We lost our main guys, and now we can play a little bit more loose, and nothing will stick to us as much because the expectations was not as high. Cowboys tend to, when you have that high expectations, and I'm sorry, we just one of those teams that every year the pundits and everybody else are going to say, hey, we going to the Super Bowl. Right? I come here to tell you guys, I hope that this year, 2021, that all of the pundits really have the low expectations of no Super Bowls, of saying that this defense will be the worst defense that they ever laid their eyes on. And the offense, they can't get it together, right? And I want us to hit these teams with the element of surprise. And I know it will be hard. But I believe that if we continue to do the things that we are doing now, lower the expectations, I think we can go pretty far. Cowboy Nation, post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. I will get into more details of the other players, of what I thought of, especially I really want to talk about Ezekiel Elliott, but right now we will talk about that on the next episode. So stay tuned, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, and that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Next episode, we're going to talk about Ezekiel Elliott, Jalen Smith. Let's go.